Hello and welcome to another episode of Teacher Needs Drink Podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at the end of the week and really the end of our ropes, and we want to be able to talk honestly and openly about our jobs without having to worry about losing them, so we'll be using pseudonyms throughout the entire episode. I'd like to also let you know this episode is brought to you by the fine folks at Lud Lamb Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher, or you know when you're building, or you're an English teacher who has to put on a play every now and then, or you kind of like doing plays, so you volunteer after school with the club, go to ludlambdramatics.com. There is jack shit for theater in the teacher stores, but ludlambdramatics.com has all kinds of great inspirational posters, diagrams, instructions on how to put on stage makeup, parts of stage, what the different stage lights are, as well as theater words and like how theater applies to the real world. It's an awesome resource. Go to ludlambdramatics.com. I'd also like to thank our other sponsor, Legendary Pretzels. They are the bomb. They are these hard pretzels that are dipped in chocolate and wrapped in caramel and rolled around in all kinds of great cereals and candies, and I can't describe them enough. They are an exquisite treat. Treat yourself. Go to Legendary Pretzels and hook yourself up. I'd also like to thank all of our folks out at Patreon. That's right. For as little as $5, $10 a month, you can get all kinds of extra content, bonus things, interviews with the host. You get to talk with us and join us in our Facebook group. This Friday, August 27th, we're doing a watch party for Kindergarten Cop for all of our patrons. And we're also going to be doing a special streaming event for our 100th episode only for our patrons. Now I'd like to thank our patrons. Here we go. Big thank you to Melissa V, Steph, Science Teach 17, Michael M, Kim C, William P, Sarah O, Aldrich T, La Scorpionita, Britt M, Tisha C, Teresa H, Biker Teach, Caitlin L, Marsha M, Wiaza, Christina B, Miss Alabama, Kristen B, Megan R, Hoovian, Ashley M, Jason F, Amber H, JJO, Jeff S, Abby B, Ann T, Sarah B, Regina F, Anna L, Josie S, Sam B, Lucy P, Mary E, Jamie B, Hope H, Aaron D, Kristen W, Vanessa J, Mary C, Rylan L, Catherine S, RJ R, Kristen C, Johanna H, Tony and Christina K, Irma A, Nimi, Melissa M, Lisa S, and Sarah N. Thank you all of you for contributing and helping keep us going. You know, the more of you join, the more stuff we put out. We got Patreon stuff coming out all the time. All right, my friends, this is episode 97. It's full. We recorded just last night, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And remember, if you have something you'd like to share with us, hit us up through the contact page of our website, teacherneedsdrinkpodcast.com. All right, my friends, enjoy.
That's a good feeling.
God, what's that about? So gross.
So
To be a
gross.
caring parent. Blech.
All right. Well, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here today with my great friends, Mr. Count Chocolate.
Count's in the building. What's up, everybody?
Also with us today, Miss Bunny O'Hare.
Hey, Elvis. Hey, folks.
And Miss Sparkles. Mrs.
Hey,
Sparkles.
y'all.
Hello. And last but not least, Shirley, what do you have today?
Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. Had to go number 2.
It's Harley.
It is
Sweet,
Harley.
sweet Harley.
Damn right.
I like her. Have you watched the cartoon they have on HBO for her?
I haven't.
Voiced by Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, we could have a whole conversation about that later. I have a lot of feelings.
You have feelings.
I have feelings about it.
Well, folks, it's the tail end of summer. I think all of us on the show, at least at this point, are in professional development mode. A lot of us have started teaching. I was back in the classroom last week, and my kids started last week. It was a hella crazy week. And I say, all things considered, it ended all right. I'm kind of excited about this pushback from the district saying, screw you, we can require masks if we want. You don't have to be here. And so that kind of gives me hope. But, man, the news is kind of grim, and so I'm almost starting to tune away from the news as much as possible. Go a little more podcast and audiobooks and music, things where I have more control over the content to keep me sane. Because I am excited about teaching, and I'm excited about being in the room. But I kind of have to compartmentalize everything, or else it gets me a little bit. But how are you guys doing? Ms. Bunny, what's going on with you?
So at the time we are recording this, my students come back tomorrow, and I am in a district that has not pushed back on the no mask requirement, so I'm not anticipating very many of my students at all to be masked. Catch me double masking all day. Woohoo!
Yeah.
the girl's not trying to get COVID between now and the time I go out on maternity leave. So, but there are things I'm excited about. I have a really awesome new teammate this year, and I am excited I get to, for better or worse, we get some of the things back that we didn't get to do last year, stuff like that. But I have been in professional development mode, and then tomorrow's the big day. So, woohoo.
Well, I'm glad you get to build up to it. What about you, Mrs. Sparkles? Where are you? You just moved, man. I mean, that adds all kinds of stress to an already changing situation. How are you holding up?
I'm okay. So I spent the last 2 weeks. Sorry if it's echoey, by the way. There's no furniture in my apartment right now. I'm in my bedroom on the floor because my furniture and my husband are all in Dallas, which is great. They'll all be here tomorrow. But I'm really, I gotta say, I spent the last 2 weeks staying with a friend of mine, and doing professional development and starting to get in my classroom. And I'm really excited for a new adventure, but I'm really excited to be back in a city that I love. And I'm just, it's stressful. I definitely cried, at least 8 times this week from the stress, but I'm once everything is settled, I feel really good about it. So I'm not too shabby, and I'm teaching a class I've never taught before in my life.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that, or is that kind of like a?
I'm kind of excited about it. It's a motivational class, so it's basically like a study skills class for the freshmen. But in a way, I'm kind of excited for it because I don't know. I think it'll be interesting, and it'll be a nice break from my normal content area every day to turn that part of my brain off and follow a curriculum and do something else. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be honest, this is kind of a make or break year for me in education. I could potentially be done with teaching at the end of this year, just depending on how I feel. I love teaching, but I am kind of not loving teaching in public school in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Word.
There's definitely some potential for me to move on to something else. We'll see.
I hear you there. It's definitely, I can't really do another hardcore year like last year. I'm just not up for it. And it's made me think enough for okay, what exactly are my retirement plans? What's my age number? And I start playing with that calculator a bit. Okay, well, I can retire and try to be out of the classroom by this age. So if I can get a good side hustle going before then, maybe I can get out of teaching a little bit before that number. Yeah, I've been playing with that calculator. I've been thinking about that a lot. It's on my mind. Count, how are you doing? You had kids back, man.
Oh, man. I'll say this. This was the worst first week ever. But oh yeah, it was bad. But we survived. There were just a lot of glitches in the system. And I think there were some new policies implemented for schedule making and for enrollment that was they were implemented. However, I don't believe anyone with any experience was consulted before or prior to. So it was a mess. Enrolling people it's a several step process. There's at least 7 or 8 different kind of documents that you have to have uploaded or have copies of that we scan and bring in. But I think we set a record for new enrollees.
Oh, wow.
It was that, but also you have students that, withdrew last year and maybe they were going to be homeschooled because we had, we're in the middle of a pandemic, or maybe they did some kind of a virtual academy somewhere and, we're waiting for transcripts, and it's hard to put people in the right class if we don't know what classes you've taken. And it's hard to go on your word as well because people will say anything.
Yeah.
It was extremely stressful. There were, I think there were 12, 13-hour days every day, but I survived it, so I'm encouraged for week 2 because there's no way it gets worse than week 1. And all the shit that caused me the extreme amount of stress, that's all done with. So it gets better from here. Good. So I'm optimistic.
That's really good. Shirley, what about you?
I still have one more week of staff development, and it's cool. This is so bad. I feel really guilty. I am so chill and relaxed going into this school year like I've never been. It's like my new principal is one giant Xanax, and I am just riding that calm wave, which has never happened really. I think the biggest thing is, as far as our lesson plan format, it is a new format, but it's a district policy and not a campus policy. But he told us, he was like, look, those of you who teach multiple subjects like me, he said, the expectation is that you give me one district lesson plan, and that doesn't mean you don't have to do lesson plans for your other classes or whatever, but the ones that I get, the official ones, if you teach multiple subjects, I only need one of them, because that's a lot of like piddly, we all know lesson plans are the worst. So him saying that, because I have 3 preps, and him saying that, it was just like, because he said, we're doing this in Google. So the idea is you do one in this form this year, and then next year you can do the other one. And there you go. So I'm just like, holy shit, man. I'm good. Like, it's all good. I feel real guilty, though, because I know everybody else is mega stressed out. It is such a dumb, petty thing. But the only thing that, the sand in my bathing suit for this year is I bought so many new lipsticks. I bought like 25 new lipsticks, and I can wear none of them.
Yeah, girl. I feel you.
I knew you would.
I've been wearing my lipsticks again, and it's been so good. And now I'm like, son of a... Everybody fucking ruined it. I got my vaccine. I was feeling good. I was feeling safe. And now all you assholes have ruined it, and I can't wear my lipsticks.
I think I jinxed it because I bought all those lipsticks.
Have you guys noticed any kind of our principals being a little tentative about making plans for the fall?
Yes.
I feel like normally this time of year, I'm getting a list of, in September we'll be doing this, in November we'll be doing this. We've got these 3 speakers. It's like they give you the whole big, long calendar. And this time, everyone was just kind of quiet. No one's really planning more than a few weeks ahead. And Shirley, what you got about that? What'd you notice?
Well, we switched. We started using last year. Our learning system. What do you call it? Our long distance learning system was Canvas, and Sparkles and Bunny were my rock stars, and they talked me through it because we didn't get access to it until like 2 days before the school year started. And basically what our principal was saying is no one has the option to be a long distance learner. All of our students are in person. However, everything that you do, even if it's just your lesson plans or whatever, please just keep your Canvas updated just in case. And I overheard one of the assistant principals saying he would be shocked if we made it to Thanksgiving without having to shut it down.
That's true, but I remember hearing the exact same thing last fall.
That's true.
Everyone's like, oh, we're only going to last a few weeks. And no, it was like, no, we just keep going. I think, Bunny, your school shut down without going virtual for 1 week early on, right?
Oh, yeah. Back before Thanksgiving, we shut down for 2 weeks because we had so few staff that we couldn't, we were down 2/3 of our students too.
Yeah.
But we had so many staff quarantined and we couldn't get subs that it was deemed better for us to be online at that point. But this year, I'm not expecting anything like that to happen at Convocation. Our superintendent made comments about seeing the kids' smiling faces back in the building.
Gross.
And kept referring to COVID in the past tense.
Okay.
Last year when we had COVID going on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
bruh.
son. Sir.
No, the news on that's really getting me, especially if you look at how many pediatric beds are left in like the Dallas area, which is none.
Terrifying. We have 2 major children's hospitals,
scary.
and there is not a PICU bed to be had.
We have no ICU beds in the town that I live in, and we have 2 hospitals. And in the larger town, which is right next to us, there's nothing. So if you are requiring ICU, good luck.
Yeah. It's scary out there. And then I saw the messages last week in the news article about a day before school started in Florida, that county lost 4 teachers to COVID.
Damn.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours of school, right before it was supposed to start. All 4 were unvaccinated. 3 were by choice, but the other one was waiting on a medical clearance before they could get it. And so they were supposed to get it in the next week or 2. But it really sucks. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate. However, I think it could have been avoided had they got their vaccination. And so if you're out there, you're not vaccinated, don't be scared. We're not being mean to you, but do it. It could save your life and a lot of trouble for everyone around you.
Don't be such a pussy.
We would hate to know that, like, one of our listeners, like one of our people, that something happened to you that was preventable. Like, we don't want to see anything happen to y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are so much nicer than me. Don't be a pussy. Get vaccinated. God. It's not about you. It's about your neighbors. Think about that poor teacher that was waiting on medical clearance, but because assholes around them didn't get vaccinated, died from COVID. Yeah, get your vaccine. All right, my yum-yums. This is a post from the Reddits from Tominator BE. Developing a teacher voice. Hi, I'm going to be a Tai Chi teacher, but I'm a bit of a shy person, which makes my voice timid. I know confidence helps, and I have confidence in what I'll be teaching, but still, how does one develop a voice that carries through a gym room? Just talk louder will probably just hurt my vocal cords.
You've come to the right group of people, because most of us have theater backgrounds. So who wants to start with the coach voice? Because I know coaches that, like, you wish you had a way to turn their volume down. They've spent so much of their life outside talking really loud so they can be heard across the whole field. And then, like, when they're inside, it's still there. And when it's just like 2 of you in a bar, the guy's still like almost yelling at you because that's just what he does now. I mean, you guys have all met that guy. It's my brother-in-law. So,
Yeah,
I mean, Miss Sparkles, how do you hit those notes? How do you get that stage whisper going?
To get that really good teacher voice, I actually channel my mother. My mother is not a teacher, and she never has been a teacher. You know that voice your mom gets, and count, you're really going to understand what I'm saying. The booming voice of a Black woman who is unhappy with you is scary. But
you mean that voice that used to echo through church?
Yes. The one where they call you by your full name?
Yeah.
All 3 of them? Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Yeah. The scarier one, though, is the one where they just get real quiet.
Yes.
And that's the scary one. Like, yes, as a teacher, you want to project confidence. You want to have good diction. You want to have great enunciation, blah, blah, blah. But if you're trying to get kids' attention, and like, let's say you have an attention getter and it's not working, I've always found that if I start speaking very quietly,
exactly,
that scares some of the kids, and the ones who aren't scared are just wondering what you're saying, so they shut up.
I like to use just my regular voice, but I'm so dramatic. I'll just stand at the front and I'll just wait. And I'll just wait. And I'll look at everybody, because eventually they're like, what's she doing? And they all get really quiet. I don't have so much as a teacher voice as I have a teacher look.
Yeah.
Yes. Very early on in my teaching career, my students nicknamed me the face, because I have a certain look that I get when I'm really cranky or irritated. And if they see that look hit my face, it tends to shut the room down pretty quickly. So less of a voice, more of a look.
What about you, Bunny?
There can definitely be power in having a softer voice. Like, if you have occasions where everyone's going to be kind of off, I don't know, I'm not completely familiar with Tai Chi, so I don't know if this applies or not, but like if you have occasions where they're all off working and doing their own thing and talking to a partner and it's just kind of loud overall, get yourself a signal or like a callback thing that you can get their attention without having to yell over them.
Yeah.
And then, and this is a thing that I do in my classroom, like just refuse to talk above a certain level, make them listen to you.
I definitely have harnessed the Papa Bear voice is how I call it. I don't use it very often because it's kind of like bringing out the big guns. Once you bring up your volume, there's really nowhere else to go up where you can do like blow a whistle or like turn the lights on and off. I mean, it's very much a last resort. I'm with the ladies and sometimes just changing the tone of my voice because if everyone's talking over me, I'll start talking quieter, or just like Shirley, I'll just stop and wait, look at my watch. And then usually 2 or 3 kids will be like, shh, they're waiting, hurry. But every now and then I harness the Papa Bear voice, where I just need to be heard over everyone. And you really have to breathe it and pull it from your gut, from your chest, and don't have any of it in your throat. If you need to talk loud, talk from your chest, not in your throat, because that's where you start to go raw after a day or two. But Count, what do you do? I think you could have a booming voice if you wanted.
Yeah, I have that coach's voice, but I rarely use it. I think that was the voice reserved for the gym, but then even then, I think I kept asking myself, like, why am I yelling? Like, it's their job to listen to what I'm going to say to them, so I could talk at a normal volume, and they'd respect that. Now, in a classroom, mind you, I'm also 6'6", so presence is always big for me, and then obviously, proximity. So I never feel the need to like really raise my voice to be the loudest one in the room. But I agree with actually like kind of lowering my voice and speaking at a very low volume. One, my voice gets kind of deep and a little rumbly, so that's kind of cool. And then on top of that, I think it makes everyone just kind of listen like, oh, he's not talking that loud. I have to stop what I'm doing and tune into what he's saying. And it doesn't even have to be anything profound. It could be like me, I don't know, listing all my previous addresses of rec centers that I used to go to and play basketball at. Like, I don't know, they'll stop and listen.
Yeah.
But I think it is good to not be the one that's constantly shouting to have to get someone's attention, because you'll have to keep shouting to keep their attention.
Hey guys, guess what?
Talk to us.
What?
We have a Patreon.
Ooh, is that dirty?
Door the fuck
Yeah,
up.
that's got to be naughty.
Right. We have a Patreon for as little as $5-10 a month. You can get access to all kinds of extra content, bonus episodes, special events. In fact, we have 2 special events coming up very quickly. On Friday, August 27th, we're going to be doing a watch party and for all of our patrons of the movie Kindergarten Cop. And you can hear Count say, "It's not a tumor." Do it for me. Do it for me, Count.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's going to be a great, great evening. So that's Friday, August 27th for all the patrons. So join now. And also on Labor Day weekend, we are recording our 100th episode ever. And we're going to try to find a way to live stream it. So those of you who want to listen in while it's being recorded can send in comments and questions. And we're going to try to get all fancy like that. So that's coming up. So join our Patreon. Do it now. Woo!
Yep.
All right. So, are you guys ready? Would you rather
Yes, sir.
kill 10 people and get away with it, or suck on a used tampon?
Gross. Y'all got real quiet.
Yeah. So,
Okay. I mean,
so one used tampon, or killing 10 people and getting away with it.
I'm fine answering this question, so I'm not going to say
Shirley,
anything.
jump in. What you got?
Oh, I'm going to kill people. You know that. You know that. I get to choose. I'm a killer. I get to choose, right?
Yeah.
I am going to seek out the most dastardly individuals known to humanity and go all Dexter on their butts. Watch out.
That tampon's not getting near me. They're going down. Now, what about you? Killing 10 people or sucking a used tampon one time?
Ugh.
man, I'm not a big killer. However, I feel like I could do the world a favor if I chose the right 10 people. Like, I don't think anybody would be upset at me. Like, if I had to like broadcast the 10 that I don't. Yeah, I'd cleverly choose 10.
All right.
And I'd probably a couple kill shots, like just a bullet to the head. Like, all right, they're out of their misery and now we don't have to deal with them anymore.
All right, Ms. Sparkles, what about you?
Oh, I'm killing 10 people.
Get them, Sparkles, get them.
I don't know that our dear listeners clearly understand the deeply hidden murderous person that is inside of me.
I know.
But there are a couple of folks who I think really deserve to die. And I would be totally happy to kill them.
Oh, boy.
So,
Down to clown.
And now, if I only have to pick 10, that's where it's going to get hard. I'm going to have to like make a list and like really cross some people out. But I can think of at least 3 off the top of my head who I would go kill right now if I could.
I can tell you the first person I would kill right now, because I had to be in a kindergarten lunchroom to help out. So whoever the fucker is that still hasn't fixed Capri Suns so that straws can go in them can go to fucking hell. Because when there are 85, 4, and 5, and 6-year-olds with all Capri Sun juice boxes that they can't stab because these bastards are just evil and can't fix it, I have to go around. I carry a little tiny like metal, like almost a toothpick, not an ice pick, just to puncture it, then put the straw in just to go quick, because I'll be jamming that straw like 10 times, getting all bent. So that person's getting fucking shot. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
an interesting first call.
Bunny, what about you? Would you take the tampon? I've never thought of you as the murdering type, but...
Okay, I found a loophole. Go to a state that has legal assisted suicide.
Ooh.
And then just help people who are ready to go on their own terms transition.
I love you so much.
Aww.
That's thoughtful.
That's really sweet, but now I'm popping that fucker who made the Capri Sun. Like, because like if you don't mind that much if it's just like 1 or 2 kids, but when you got like a lunchroom full of them, fuck that. Maybe you need to make even a note now going to parents. Whatever your kids are getting in their snack packs, make sure it's something a kid can open, because some of this stuff, like the plastic's really hard to peel off, and it's. Yeah, I feel like 15 minutes I'm opening other kids' lunches. It's the most bizarre shit in the world. No, I want that.
No, that's like a little mini freebie, just the tip.
Word, just the tip. What? Just the tip.
Yeah, remix that.
If you have kindergartners or young children who are going to be eating lunch in the lunchroom unassisted for the first time, have them practice opening their snacks and doing the things.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's cute.
Do a little like mini picnic in your living room floor or something, and have them make them open their shit themselves that they get used to it.
Brown chicken, brown cow. All right, my friends.
Oh my God.
It is time to wrap this up. So, my friends, thank you for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to thank my hosts who are with me today, Mr. Count Chocolate.
I have officially declared Sunday to be Chocolate Sunday.
There you go. I like it. What about you, Ms. Bunny O'Hare? Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me back again. It was a pleasure, as always.
And Mrs. Sparkles, I hope you enjoy having all of your crap in a different town now.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye. And last but not least, Shirley, what you got?
Oh, wow. I'm a princess.
Where was I? Okay, my friends, enjoy your first week. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers! Woo!
Cheers.
Cheers!
Cheers.
All right, my friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. Teacher Needs a Drink podcast comes out every Wednesday and is brought to you by Lud Lamb Dramatics and Legendary Pretzels. I'd like to thank my host who helped out with me today, Mrs. Sparkles, Count Chocolate, Bunny O'Hare, and Shirley Temper. My friends, if you get a chance, please reach out and share with us. You can hit us up through the contact page of our website, www.teacherneedsdrinkpodcast.com. And also, you can hit us up through the Patreon. For as little as $5, $10 a month, you get all kinds of extra content like the upcoming Kindergarten Cop Watch Party on August 27th and our Labor Day weekend 100th episode recording. So I hope you can join us. Anyway, my friends, take care of yourselves. Cheers! Episode 97 in the books.
I watched the movie Clueless for the very first time.
Bless your sweetheart.
Yesterday.
I still can't believe that's
Friday.
the first time you've watched it.
I
If that's
saw
the first time,
trailer.
you missed out on a whole lot of. That's a long time of jokes.
Isn't it a delight, though?
I enjoyed it. I liked how young Paul Rudd was, and so I went back and I started watching Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, which is Paul Rudd's first movie ever. Is a really bad, late Halloween sequel where he's like this baby young boy who's narrating it. It's funny as hell. Not supposed to be, but it is. But no, Alicia Silverstone, I mean, she had game back in the day. Those Aerosmith videos, that was an awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All three of those videos. And yeah, I watch Psych half the time because that one woman looks like Alicia Silverstone, even though she's not. Anyway,